Well, Wall Street just got kicked out of your neighborhood if you didn't hear. A massive new federal ban just stopped billionaires from buying all of the single family homes in the United States. Some of the richest corporations, home building, home acquisitions, private finance, pick your lot, right, are panicking right now based upon what I'm going to show you and what you're going to discover in this article. Because, oh my God. I mean, because if you own a home, you want to buy a home, you want to trade a home and anything in real estate, everything you know about the market just changed. And we're going to break it down for you very, very quickly, because it is honestly, I've been an agent for 26 years and I am fascinated by this. Okay. I've seen everything from fax machines to tablets and then beyond, and now to AI. But what Trump has done is that he has banned Wall Street from buying homes on the open market. He's basically stopping them from taking, the opportunity for you to go in and buy your own, little part of an American dream. Now, why is this important? It's important because a lot of the times, like in stock trading, stock traders, like the corporate stock traders, like the big boys, they've laid, I don't know, I'm gonna say hundreds of thousands, not millions of miles of like high speed cable. They make, trading decisions a fraction of a second before the average consumer, the trader. The same things happen in real estate. These big boys go in, get big money, and then they'll snatch up the opportunities before Joe and Jane, average US citizen, has the opportunity to buy. And that's bullshit, man. Sorry for the cussing, but that really ticks me off because I've watched families lose on this, and I hate that. But there is a secret law that if and when this does get passed, it's really going to change this, and it's going to really, really make some rich people ticked off. So let's get into this very, very fast. Let's talk about what Trump just did. He did an executive order, and it's entitled "Stopping Wall Street from Corrupting the Main Street Homebuyers." And so basically, he's allowing the U.S. citizen to go in and be able to have the opportunity because he's going to be taking away Wall Street or basically Wall Street's government supported financing channels, guarantees, and federal underwriting tools. That's a lot that he's like, nope, no more, no mas. That's why people are freaking out right now, stock markets immediately went down. And if you guys can see on the charts, that's right here, right now. The crazy thing is that, these big corporations only own about 2 to 3% of the national market. But look at those red lines. Those red lines right there are showing you that Atlanta, Charlotte, and Phoenix are all heavily impacted. Now, why is that? It's because they're focusing on working class metro areas and they snap it up. And then there's a really hard problem there, but there's a counter argument. Because if you don't allow large corporations to buy products at below market value because they're buying in mass quantities, it's called buying a tape. Buying a tape of all these properties and then selecting what you want, and then you purchase them, right? Boom, done. They make a profit and they put it in whatever model they're going to work with. But then they rent it back out to people for a certain amount of time. That keeps the rents somewhat low. Let's put it that way, somewhat low. But if Joe and Jane go out and buy a rental property, they're going to pay market rent. That means they have to get a market purchase price, means they have to get market rent. If the corporations get under market purchase, they can charge below or at market rent based upon their model. But it allows the renters, the families who might not be able to buy yet, it allows them the opportunity to go in and rent something without breaking the back. But then on this chart, it cracks me up. This talks about how unsustainable this growth pattern is. Because back in 2020, we were at 100% affordability. Now in 26, we're at 168. We grew 68% more unaffordable. So how is rent's going to really affect anything, right? But the craziness continues, okay? There was a bipartisan decision that if you as an entity owned 300 or more units, that you cannot buy any more investment properties unless you start selling these properties. Now you're like, oh, well, whoever owns 300 and 50 properties at the average market rate of, I think it's basically 1900 a month. That's roughly 675,000, give or take. I mean, I'm not going to be exactly accurate on that number, but it means in that ballpark a month on income, I think you're going to be okay. So they also going to talk about the 7-year build rent eviction, which is really cool because this is the bipartisan bill was called the 21st Century Road to Housing Act. Now, there's a couple of different documents I'm going to put in the description from the White House outlining all of this stuff, so you guys can don't get it from me, get it from the horse's mouth on this one. But under this law of the 7 years, it says that an investment firm, if they construct a new neighborhood, they're legally required to liquidate all of those homes to the public within 7 years. Very fascinating why they chose 7 years. Not really sure about that. But anyways, that's some really kind of interesting stuff there. You can see that on the chart here. The bill passed 89.9% bipartisan passed this new law. That means they see that there's a serious problem involved. So let's talk about the mass liquidity freeze. This one actually really it's an interesting concept to really think about. So let's say that the assets are frozen, right? That means the corporations can't buy them. So what happens with all these homes? Well, it gets disproportionate. So you can see the graph right here. The actual home sellers are about 630,000 of them. Active home buyers, 180. How are we going to buy all of these properties? I don't understand this. And the funny thing is that, Joe and Jane buyer are being held hostage by the interest rates because they're averaging like 7-ish, but we're probably going to be more in the 6.5-ish, 6.25. Now, I'm not a mortgage lender, so talk to a mortgage professional on that, but give or take what numbers we're seeing. So the properties are out there. Joe and Jane can't afford it because of their interest rates are 6.5 to 7. The corporate ban can't sell the properties, so it's going to can't buy the properties. Excuse me. So then these 630,000 properties, what's going to happen? Prices come down. They're not going to go up because you just really don't have that option. That means buyers right now have a huge opportunity to swoop in and have some really cool chance to pick and choose what you like. You've been getting your teeth kicked in forever and a day. Might as well take advantage of this opportunity, right? So, anyways, I can keep ranting and raving about this. At the end of the day is this. You can argue for this or against it. I see the logic on both sides. Now, I want you to put in the comments, do you see the logic in this on either side? Are you going like, dude, double thumbs up, no more corporations, down with the man, right? Or are you going like, well, you know what? I would rather have, a corporate buy it because, then it would equal out the rates a little bit. It's kind of like the status quo is what we're used to now. So this would be like normal, use this as a baseline. Or would you rather just say, yeah, throw it to the wind? Anyways, put in the comments below, guys. I really appreciate you being here. And if you have any questions, look in the descriptions. I'm going to put a bunch of links of different articles that you guys can reference back to. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later. Bye.